And we're getting started on our backs, coming into any comfortable position. So that could be a traditional corpse pose, lying straight on your back. If you want to give your low back some support, take your feet as wide as the mat and let the knees knock in. Or if you want to start to passively get into your hips, soles of your feet to touch, knees drape open wide. Take these first few moments of our class to settle in. Maybe noticing how you're feeling. And as you arrive into the space and arriving into your practice, start to scan from the toes all the way up through the crown of the head. And scan from the crown of the head all the way down to the toes. Notice if you're holding any tension and see if you can allow the hips and the shoulders, maybe the low back, soften into the ground a little bit more. And if you haven't already, start to turn to your breath. So taking deep inhales through the nose and full exhales out. Inhaling, breathe deep into the low belly. Exhale, slowly push the breath out. Take 2 more rounds on your own. And after your last cycle of breath, slowly start to bring awareness into the body. So wiggling fingertips or toes, taking head from side to side. Full body stretch, reach the arms overhead. And as you're ready, start to gather your knees towards your chest, pressing your low back down into the ground. You might rock from side to side or stay in stillness. And then from here, keep your right knee hugged in, hands come around your right shin, and extend your left leg long. From here, start to use your hands as guides to make counterclockwise circles with your knee, getting into your hip. Keeping your left heel pressed into the ground. And then after you take those counterclockwise circles with the knee, start to take clockwise circles, going the other direction. If you can, take a half happy baby. So you'll slide your right hand to the outside of your right ankle or calf, or maybe to the outside of your right foot, and gently pull right knee down towards the ground. Take 1 more full breath in and a full exhale out. Slowly start to hug right knee back towards the chest. And when you're ready, let the left leg beat it. Start to take the hands around your left shin, hugging left knee in, and extend right leg long. Start to take those counterclockwise hip circles, making circles with your knee, and allowing the hands to guide your left shin and your left hip. Take one more, and then start to reverse the circle, going clockwise. Slowly come back to stillness and slide left hand from the outside of left calf or ankle, maybe outside of the foot or inside of the foot for a half happy baby. So we're gently pulling left knee towards armpit. Nothing like super aggressive, especially because still early in the class. Slowly start to hug left knee towards the chest. And your right leg will meet it. Take the arms out to a T or goalpost them and let your legs fall over to the left and to the right and your gaze to the left for a gentle spinal twist. Coming back through to center. Let your legs fall over to the left and gaze over your right shoulder. And then as you're ready, come back through to center. Roll over onto one side, head resting on bicep just for a moment. And as you're ready, press up to your seated position at the top of your mat. From here, you could tuck your chin slightly towards your chest, gaze down towards the toes, or if you want to, close your eyes. Take a full breath in and a full exhale out. One more inhale and a full breath out. I'll invite you to bring palms together at heart center, pressing thumbs towards heart space and lifting heart space up towards thumbs. And if you choose, you might set your intention or dedication for your practice this afternoon. So that could be a word, maybe a phrase or an energy you want to carry with you for the next 60 minutes or so. Or maybe you send some love or good thoughts to someone or something that's close to your heart. We will open with one collective breath together, inhaling through the nose. Open mouth. Slowly start to blink your eyes open if they've closed. And from here, hands can come alongside the body or like on the ground. And you'll slowly start to tuck your chin to your chest. Feeling the back of the neck have a stretch, and then you'll take your left ear towards left shoulder. Pause as you take a full breath in. Full exhale out. Come back through to center, inhale, chin to chest, and to exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Pause for a moment, full breath in. Full exhale out. Come back through to center one more time on each side. Left ear to left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. And slowly start to take chin to chest. From here, gently lift the chin up. Clasp the hands. Take them behind the head. Elbows are out wide, and then gently pull them back. From here, drop your tailbone down so that you're not like leaning back too much. Nice self-adjustments. And then start to take right elbow down as your left elbow comes up. So what you're feeling right now is probably a stretch from left elbow down to the hip, maybe through back of the like upper back and shoulder. See if you can roll that left elbow up towards the ceiling a little bit more. And slowly start to come back through to center. Drop tailbone down, elbows back just a little bit, and slowly start to take a left elbow down towards the ground as you reach right elbow up towards ceiling. Maybe you roll right elbow back a little bit more as you find length from your right elbow all the way down to your right hip crease. One more time on each side. Inhale, come back through to center. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Come back through to center. Inhale and exhale, side bend. Left elbow goes down, right elbow goes up. Come back through to center. Keeping the hands clasped, press them up towards the ceiling. Shoulders down the back. Feel that length through your side body. Full breath in. Full exhale out. Slowly start to release. Interlace fingers at the back. Last seated stretch. Gently press palms down and knuckles down. And gently, maybe you start to forward fold, shoulder rinse. Take a full breath in. And a full exhale out. Slowly start to release. Maybe you take a couple of shoulder rolls or neck rolls before we meet in a tabletop position onto all fours. From here, our shoulders stack over our wrists and our hips stack over our knees. Take the gaze past the front of your mat, and on an inhale, drop belly, lift, gaze widen through the collarbones for your cow. Drop your shoulders, squeeze them together, nice. And then on the exhale, chin to chest, round through the spine, push the ground away for your cat. So as you inhale, drop belly, lift, gaze. Exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest for your cat. Take a couple more rounds on your own, matching your breath and movement. See if you can really push the ground away on the exhale. And as you inhale, see if you can squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take one more. And when you're ready, come back to that neutral tabletop position. From here, knees go as wide as the mat. Big toes together to touch. Send hips back for your child's pose. Take a few moments in this child's pose to settle in. Know that this pose is always available to you throughout class. If you ever have to take rest or you need to come back to your breath. Take one more full breath in. And a full exhale out. Start to walk the hands all the way over to the left. For a side bend stretch, pull your right hip back. Breathe into your right side body, full breath in. Full exhale out. Inhale, come back through to center and slowly start to walk the hands all the way over to the left and pull right hip back. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Come back through to center. Spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes under, and we'll send our hips up and back for our first downward facing dog of the practice. If you want to, you can kind of pedal out your feet, take anything that you need. Then when you're ready, come to stillness in your downward facing dog, pressing your chest towards your thighs, and then spread your fingers wide. Take up lots of space with the hands. On your next inhale, rise up to your tiptoes. And exhale, let the heels fall back. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, heels fall heavy. Last time, inhale, heels go up. Exhale, heels fall heavy. Start to look forward. And if you want to, you could step or hop to the top of your mat to a flat back. Lengthen through the spine, low belly pulls in, gazes forward. And exhale, we forward fold. One more time with breath. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we fold, heel toe feet, hips width distance apart. Let your neck and head be heavy. Grab opposite elbows, ragdoll. Sway from side to side, shake your head yes or no. Unhinging the jaw. Releasing your hands down to the ground, slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time until we come up to standing at the top of our mats. Coming into our mountain pose, Tadasana. Feet can be about hips width distance apart. Hands come alongside the body. Start to roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Inhale. And exhale, take them back all the way down. One more time, inhale, shoulders towards the ears. Back, and exhale, let them fall heavy. On your next inhale, reach your arms overhead. And exhale, swan dive down to forward fold. Inhale to your flat back to look forward. And exhale, palms come down, step back to your high plank, or you can lower down to your knees like I'm doing. Gaze is forward, take a deep breath in. Core is engaged. On the exhale, we squeeze elbows in, lower halfway down for your low push-up. Nice. Inhale to your upward facing dog. Lift the chest up, collarbones spread. Nice. And then send your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Full exhale out. Start to look forward. You'll step or jump to the top of your mat to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, arms sweep up and overhead. And bring hands to heart center or by your sides. We'll just do one more of those. So inhale, arms reach up, gaze lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your flat back. And then you'll plant your palms down, step back, high plank, or drop down to your knees like I'm doing. And then you're hugging your elbows in as you exhale, lower down. You'll inhale to your upward facing dog if you're flowing. Nice. And then send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Spreading the fingers wide, press into all 10 finger pads. Root down through the inner webbing in between the thumb and the index finger to really kind of suction down. Last breath in. Full exhale out. You'll start to look forward. You can step or hop to the top of your mat to a flat back. Exhale to fold. Root to rise, arms sweep up and overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center or by your sides. Bringing your big toes together to touch and your heels slightly apart. We're dropping into a chair pose. We'll just do 2 chair poses today. Reaching the arms up, take a full breath in. On the exhale, we fold. Inhale to your flat back. And then plant your palms. Step back to your high plank or drop down to your knees. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower halfway down, low push-up. Inhale to your upward facing dog if you're flowing. And then send your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, your right foot will step forward. You can use your right hand behind your calf to help it up and drop your left knee down. Low crescent lunge. So from here, right knee is tracking over right ankle. We'll reach our arms up. From here, see if you can drop your tailbone down and press your left hip forward. Reaching the arms overhead, bring palms together to touch. Steeple grip the fingers, thumbs and index fingers to touch. Find length on the inhale. And on the exhale, side bend over to your right. So you should feel this in your left hip flexor, also in your left side body. Take a full breath in. Full exhale out. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, cartwheel, hands down to frame out your right foot. Step back to your high plank, or maybe you're on your knees again for low plank. And squeeze elbows in, lower halfway down. Inhale to your upward facing dog. And send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, that left foot will come forward. You can use your left hand to guide your left leg up. Dropping right knee down, coming into that low crescent lunge. Pause here for a moment, reaching the arms up. And then see if you can slightly press that right hip forward. Steeple grip the fingers, find length on the inhale. And exhale, side bend over to the left. Press right hip forward. Beautiful. Take a full breath in. Full exhale out. Inhale, come back up. Cartwheel, hands down, frame out your left foot. Step back, high plank, or maybe you come into that low plank. Lower down halfway if you want to move through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog if you're flowing. To your downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Full exhale out. Start to look forward. Then you'll step or hop to the top of your mat to a flat back. Exhale to fold. Drop into your chair pose once more. Nice. And exhale, we fold. Inhale to your flat back. Keep your right foot forward. Take a step back with your left foot, and we rise up, high crescent lunge. From here, settle in. So if you feel wobbly, heel toe right foot up and out so you're on train tracks, not in a tightrope. Clasping the hands, or maybe right hand to your waist, and then lean to the right as you press left hip forward. Nice. Come back through to center, reach the arms up. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down. Step back to your high plank and press back to your downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Full exhale out. Right foot will step forward and your left foot will meet it, forward fold. Drop into your chair pose. This is the last one. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, flat back. Left foot stays forward. Step back with your right foot. And we arrive in our high crescent lunge. Reach the arms up. Left hand to your waist. Inhale, reach right arm up. Exhale, side bend over to your left. Take a full breath in. Full exhale out. Coming back up. Cartwheel, hands down, frame out your left foot. Step back, high plank. Press back to your downward facing dog. Come down into your tabletop position onto all fours. Child's pose. Knees as wide as the mat, big toes together to touch. You have the option to stay in this child's pose, or if you want to stretch into the upper back and into your triceps, your upper arms, you'll take your hands in prayer position like I'm doing right now. Take the seat up a little bit higher, and then the backs of the thumbs will come onto the back of the neck. You'll use your elbows as leverage to gently press down, or you can walk them forward a little bit more. Slowly come back to your child's pose if you aren't already there. We'll meet in our tabletop position. From here, keep your left hand facing down and take the right hand behind the head. Slowly start to take right elbow down towards the left forearm and touch. And then inhale, lift right elbow up towards the ceiling. So we're getting into our thoracic spine, our mid back. Slowly take right elbow towards left forearm. And inhale, open up. Last one, exhale. And inhale to open. Slowly start to take that right hand down, basing. And left hand comes behind the head. Slowly take your left elbow towards right forearm. Inhale. And open up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Exhale to close, left elbow towards right forearm. And inhale to open. Last one. Slowly start to take your left hand down. And when you're ready, from this tabletop position, keeping the right leg bent, you'll take your right leg up and back. And then start to take 3 giant circles down and around. Down and around. Last one, down and around. And now the fun part, we're going to reverse that. So take the knee forward, out, and around. 2 more, forward, out, and around. Last one, forward, out, and around. Come back to that 3-legged tabletop position. Take your right leg back, drop your right big toe towards left inner thigh, straightening it out. And then take your left arm forward. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Left hand comes down, right knee comes down. Beautiful. Slowly start to take that 3-legged position. So bending into the left knee, taking, yep. And then take those circles down and around. Down and around. Last one, down and around. Now the fun part, switching and reversing it. So take the knee forward, out and around. Forward, out and around. Last one, forward, out and around. Bracing the core, take left leg back, straightening through the leg. Right arm reaches forward. Hold here, navel to spine for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start to take right hand down and left knee down. Coming back into that right knee bent, right heel towards seat. Take that knee out and then take the right foot and step it forward. So we're coming into a lizard pose. From here, your right foot is on the outside of your mat. Hands are on the inside of your right foot. From here, hug your right knee in towards the right shoulder. And if you want to, you could start to move forwards and backwards, getting into that hip joint. Or if you wanted to also take circles, you could do that as well. And it doesn't matter, counterclockwise, clockwise. We're getting into this left hip and also moving that right hip joint around. And then from here, slowly start to walk that right foot towards the center. Hands will frame out your right foot, tuck left toes under, rise up into a high crescent lunge. From here, we'll exhale out into a warrior 2. So my right knee stays bent. My left foot is parallel to the back edge of my mat. I bend into my right knee as my gaze goes over my right middle finger. Inhale, flip your right palm and reverse your warrior. Left hand is light on your left thigh as you reach back. And then exhale to your extended side angle. So right forearm to right thigh, Left arm reaches overhead. From here, we're going to take 3 circles with our left arm getting into the shoulder. So take left fingertips down, back and around. 2 more, down, back and around. Nice. Last one, down, back and around. We'll rise back up into our warrior 2. And then straighten through your front leg, hands to your waist. Take a big step up with your left foot and shorten and widen your stance. So there is an alleyway in between your feet, and your left foot is pointed up towards that top edge of your mat. From here, hands catch your waist, inhale, and exhale, start to forward fold. The hands can either tent down around your foot and let your neck and head be heavy. See if you can push your left hip forward as you pull your right hip back. And as you're ready, slowly start to let your left foot come up towards the top of your mat. Feet are a little bit wider than hips with distance. Grab opposite elbows, ragdoll. Sway from side to side. Release your hands down to the ground. You'll slowly plant them down. Step back into your tabletop position. Take 1 round of cat-cow. Inhale to drop belly, lift gaze. And exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest for your cat. Come back to neutral tabletop position. Take your left leg back, bending left heel towards seat. Take it up, around, and into that lizard pose. Left foot to the outside of your left pinky. Hug left knee towards left shoulder. You could stay in stillness or start to rock forwards and backwards, getting into your right hip and also into that left groin and hip. Maybe adding in some movement, either forwards, around, and back. Taking any movements that feel good in the hips. And as you're ready, slowly start to shimmy left foot towards the center. Hands will stay to frame out your left foot. Tuck your right toes under, and we rise up into a high crescent lunge. Exhaling out to our warrior 2, fan open up the arms. Right foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. And gazes over your left middle finger. Beautiful. Inhale, flip left palm and reverse your warrior. Reach back. Right hand is light as you reach back. And exhale to your extended side angle. Left forearm to left thigh. Right arm reaches overhead. So from here, 3 circles with the arm, down, back, and around. Down, back, and around. Last one. Then we come back up to our warrior 2. Straighten through your front leg, hands to your waist. Take a big step up with that right foot. Shorten and widen your stance so there's an alleyway. See if your heels can drop down. Big toes are pointed forward. And exhale, we fold. Hands can come to frame out your left foot. And then there can be a slight micro bend in that front leg if your left hamstring is tight. Let your neck and head be heavy. Slowly start to let your right foot meet your left, top of the mat, and roll up one vertebrae at a time till you come up to standing. Tadasana mountain pose at the top of your mat. And we're coming onto our seat. So inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, we fold. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, palms come down. Maybe you come into your plank pose or low plank, like I'm dropping down to my knees. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, squeeze your elbows in, lower halfway down to your chaturanga. Inhale to your upward facing dog if you're flowing. And then send hips up and back for your downward facing dog. When you're ready, start to look forward. You can step through onto your seat. Both legs are out in front. So from here, both legs are out in front. My legs are together. Thigh bones are pressing down into the ground. Pull low belly in towards the spine. Take a deep breath in. Reach the arms up. And then start to hinge at your hips and forward fold. So you can grab whatever you got, whether that's calves, ankles, maybe the feet. And then see if you can lift your chest up, keeping your collarbones broad as heart reaches forward. Take a deep breath in and a full exhale out. Then slowly start to look forward. And we release. Take your soles of your feet to touch, knees drape open wide for a butterfly pose. So hands will come to the ankles or maybe around the shoelace sides of the feet, and heels come in towards the inner thighs as much as they can. Sitting up tall as you inhale. And then exhale, start to hinge at your hips to forward fold. You can round through your upper back, taking forehead towards the feet. Then we inhale to look forward. And exhale, we slowly release. Coming into any comfortable seated position, that could be with legs out in front or crossing the legs. You're going to take the arms out in front, bend into your elbows, and then take right arm and loop it underneath your left. These are eagle arms. Yeah, so you can clasp the hands just like this. If this is too much on the shoulders, you'll grab opposite shoulders. Slowly from here, start to lift elbows up towards shoulder height and push out just a little bit. You should feel this in the tops and the backs of your shoulders. Take a full breath in and a full exhale out. Slowly start to unwind. Take a couple of shoulder and neck rolls. And then when you're ready, take the arms out long, bend into your elbows, and loop left arm underneath the right. From here, gently pull up, bringing elbows up towards shoulder height, and maybe you press out just a little bit. Take a full breath in and a full exhale out. One more. Slowly start to release. Maybe you take a couple of neck or shoulder rolls. And then from here, legs go back out in front. Keep the left leg out in front and draw your right sole of foot to your left inner thigh. You'll notice as you come into this position, you're kind of facing towards that right shin. As you reach up, Start to take that twist towards your left foot and then start to forward fold. Try to keep that opposite leg as engaged as you can as you forward fold towards your left foot. And you don't have to catch your left foot. You could just have hands alongside the calf or maybe crawling down towards ankle. And then from here, slowly start to walk the hands back, sitting up. Take your right leg out in front and draw your left sole of foot to right inner thigh, sitting up tall. Reach the arms up. Take that slight twist towards your right foot and start to forward fold. Last cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, slowly start to come up. Take both legs out wide, so you're making like a V shape with the legs, maybe a little bit wider. Keeping like length through the spine. Start to forward fold and maybe catch either outsides of calves, maybe ankles, and gently forward fold. You should feel this in your hamstrings, the backs of your legs. And then start to walk the hands all the way over on the outside of the left shin or left calf. You'll feel that stretch on that right side body. And come back through to center and walk the hands to the outside of the right shin or the right leg. And gently pull back on left shoulder. Come back through to center. Coming into seated position, and we're rolling over. And we're coming into a deeper shoulder and chest stretch. So I'm going to give a couple of options here. You could either come into your child's pose once more, but taking that option of keeping the seat up a little bit higher, clasping the hands, take the hands to the back of the neck and gently press down. Or you'll come into your puppy dog pose, which is a deeper chest and shoulder stretch from tabletop position. You'll start to walk your arms forward. Tailbone stays pressed up and forehead comes down to the ground. If this is too much, you could always take a slight bend in the elbows, but not like a full bend, just a slight one. And then see if you can breathe into your upper back and your shoulders and into the front of your chest. We'll be here for 5 more breaths. Then when you're ready, slowly start to walk the hands back. Come into maybe like a seated position, sitting back onto the shins. Take a couple of neck rolls and shoulder rolls. Slide onto one side of your hips, and we're coming down onto our backs. From here on your back, we're taking 2 hip bridges. Make sure your knees are pointed up towards the ceiling and that you can graze your heels with your fingertips. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Exhale all the air out as forearms and hands press into the ground alongside body. And then inhale to lift up. Squeeze your glutes, pressing hips and pelvis up towards ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come down. Press the entire low back down into the ground. Setting up for our second and final round. Exhale all the air out and press down to rise up. Last one for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Windshield wiper legs back and forth to release your low back. And then when you're ready, feet planted down onto the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And then reach through and catch onto your left thigh like I'm doing, or maybe onto your left shin. This is our hip stretch, our figure 4 pose on our back. Keep the right foot flexed. Five more breaths. And then as you're ready, slowly start to hug both knees towards the chest, resetting. And then slowly start to cross left ankle over right thigh, flexing the toes. Hands will reach through window to catch onto the belly of your right thigh or right shin, and gently pull back. See if you can soften a little bit more your upper back. We're in a figure 4 pose on our back, crossing left ankle over right thigh. Five more breaths. And then whenever you're ready, slowly start to hug both knees towards the chest. Rocking from side to side or staying in stillness. And then from here, keeping the right knee hugged in, extend your left leg long, pressing left heel down into the ground. And then gently take the hands behind the belly of the right thigh and lift, right leg up towards ceiling for that hamstring stretch. So almost like your foot is pressing into the ceiling, Slowly start to hug right knee towards chest once more. And then when you're ready, keeping that left leg long, extend your right leg long as well. And just notice how left and right side are feeling. When you're ready, slowly start to hug left knee towards chest. Pressing right heel down into the ground. That right leg is still long. And then gently start to take hands behind the belly of your left thigh and pressing left foot up towards the ceiling, almost like you're stamping your foot into it, and gently pulling back, feeling that stretch through the back of the leg. Start to hug left knee towards chest and extend your left leg long. Notice any similarities, maybe any differences between your left and your right side. Maybe you start to close your eyes or soften the gaze over the tip of your nose. Starting to take deep breaths in and slow exhales out. As we move into our well-earned rest, our Shavasana, where we lay on our backs. If you need to take 5 to 8 more breaths in any other poses before coming into your rest, feel free. That could be, hugging knees towards chest, rocking from side to side, or maybe a happy baby or anything else. And then when you're ready, slowly come into your Shavasana final resting pose for a very well-earned rest, closing the eyes or softening the gaze over the tip of your nose. If your mind starts to wander, no worries at all. Just come back to your breath, tracing your breath as you inhale through the nose, and it moves from the nose, the throat, heart space, and belly. And as you exhale, slowly push the breath out from belly, chest, throat, and nose. Focusing on your breath as you inhale and tracing your breath as you exhale. Slowly start to deepen your inhales, lengthening through your exhales. Bring easy movement back into the body, wiggling fingertips or toes, and take the head from side to side. Reaching the arms overhead, full body stretch. And when you're ready, gathering knees towards chest and roll over to one side, head resting on bicep. We will slowly come up to our seated position at the top of our mats, and eyes can be closed or soften the gaze. Feeling the support of your own self, support of this community practicing together with one another, support of this practice and your breath. We'll close our session with one breath together. Bring hands to heart center. Inhale. Open mouth. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me and one another. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Stay warm, and I will see you in December.